Shalom, Kohaloyam, Wahawala, Yahweh Bahasem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakahachwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, along with the bishops and elders who rule and teach the lambs exceedingly well, and salutations to the house of David, by Shad Wadah, the elect. And that starts with 144,000, his servants, the prophets, and includes the remainder of the remnant, which consists of men, women, and children, believers, those among Israel, Yasharallah, who have been given this gift of faith and who are cleaving to the testimony of the prophets. They too will be delivered out of this coming destruction. That's what's coming to America, aka Babylon the Great. Total annihilation, utter destruction is coming to this fucking hellhole, all right, that we call America. All right, and it's going to be compliments of the intercontinental ballistic missiles and the chariots of the Lord. All right, there will be a nuclear war taking place on this earth. Okay, matter of fact, the scriptures talks about the brightness of the Lord's coming. Right? What is that? 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter. It talks about the brightness of Yahweh's return, because he's coming back in the midst of World War III as those nukes are on their way. Now, this is already old news. In Slovakia, today is Friday, November the 13th, 2025, the hopeful year of our deliverance and of Esau's destruction and judgment. And this is off Fortune.com. Trump's 50-year mortgage would save you about $119 a month while doubling the interest, all right, usury, that's what the Bible calls it, all right, while doubling the usury you pay over the long run. All right, UBS estimates. And this shows you, all right, the ridiculousness of this kingdom at this point, man. This highlights it. This highlights the fact that Babylon is fucking cooked, man. All right, Isaiah 47th chapter come to mind when I seen the headline. And like I said, this is already old news. This is already, ancient in today's terms, right? I think this was announced. I think he floated this idea a few days ago. DJT Nero, look at him. Demon that he is. A 50-year death note for you Babylonians. Who in their right mind? And that's what mortgage means. All right, if you study, etymology, and you look up that word mortgage, it literally means death note. All right, and home ownership is one of the biggest lies. See, this whole construct called America was totally, all right, built on witchcraft, sorcery. Okay, because the idea of homeownership is that's an illusion, man. You don't own shit. Especially you Jakes, man, you Israelites. All right, you so-called, right, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Y'all don't own shit. All right, that goes for you speckled birds too. Home ownership was always an illusion. All right, because you if you don't pay your property taxes, they take your shit, man. All right, 50-year mortgage. Get the fuck, that's insane, man. Hold on, there's a scripture too in the Apocrypha. Give me just a second. All right, I want to bring this out in Ecclesiastes, or Sirach chapter 21 and verse 8, and it reads, "He that buildeth his house with other men's money," right? So what do they tell you in America? Go to the bank, right? You got to own a home. You got to go to the bank. You got to get a loan from one of these big lenders, right? Pay an insane amount of usury, all right, interest, okay, and then pay on that debt for the rest of your life, man. Okay, it says, "He that buildeth his house with other men's money," right? Because very few people, especially our people, the Israelites, can flat out buy a piece of property, pay cash for it, and build their own home, right? You're getting a loan somewhere along the way. It says, "He that buildeth his house with other men's money is like one that gathereth himself stones for the tomb of his burial," right? That's what you do. All right, when you go to one of these big lenders and you get a $150,000 loan or a $200,000 loan or a $300,000 loan, and get one of these manufactured piece of shit houses these days, because these days it's all cheap plywood, and I mean the houses they throwing up nowadays ain't worth the fuck, man. This place is finished, man. Babylon is cooked. 50-year death notes for you Babylonians. You people are absolutely done out here. All right, and 2/3 of you have no idea because you're so fucking wicked that you can't. You so evil and so wicked you can't discern the signs of times. You can't see this place is done. Let's get into this real quick. This ain't gonna be long at all. I just thought this was hilarious, and I know other Akiam and other men of the Lord have already commented on this, but you know, I wanted to toss my 2 spiritual cents in, if you will, because this highlights, all right, the foolishness and stupidity that this place is, man. It always was, man. This place was always a foolish place, man. A land of fools and retards. All right. Let's look at this real quick in Slovakia. It says a proposal floated by the Trump administration to create a 50-year mortgage product to improve housing affordability could offer significant immediate savings to homebuyers, but at the steep cost of a double interest payment burden over the life of the loan. According to a recent analysis by John Lovaglio of UBS Securities, caveating that many basic questions remain unanswered, a back-of-the-envelope calculation shows a clear trade-off between immediate monthly affordability and long-term debt accumulation. Based on Lovaglio's estimates, the extended loan term could lower the monthly payment on a median-price home by roughly $119. While the short-term financial relief is meaningful for consumers struggling with current housing costs, the long-term fiscal penalty is severe. You know, and if you think this place is going to be around for 50 more years, you're out of your fucking mind, man. You talk about deceived. If you lucky if you people are going to be lucky to have 5 more years here. You know, at 50 years you can bank on it. The kingdom of heaven will be being built up, man. All right, by the heathen nations who was going into slavery upon the Lord's return. Who you people are out here calling Jesus Christ? He's coming back to put you heathen nations in bondage, man, in captivity. 50 years. You know, like I say, man, if we, you know, we're not out here putting dates on anything like you wacky tacky Christians. But man, you know, can you honestly see this place? Can you see the Lord tarrying for 5 more years? If you spiritual, you don't see that at all. This place is ripe for destruction. 50-year death notes, man. All right. You know what? Let me just go ahead and get to Isaiah 47. Slovakia. All right, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 47 and verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust. All right, that represents confusion, right? Dust in the scriptures. All right, it says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon, right? Babylon has a virgin daughter, and it's America. All right, why is America referred to as a virgin? Because America has never been invaded by a foreign army. All right, but that's coming too, man. Because the Moabites is off the coast of Babylon, both coasts, and so are the so-called Russians. All right, this place will be invaded and will be destroyed. All right, it says, sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. And the modern day Chaldeans are the bankers, the international banking elites, the dukes of Edom. Right? They're all wizards and sorcerers, Freemasons. Okay? O daughter of the Chaldeans, the Rothschilds, the Rothschilds, which means red shield. All right, the Rockefellers, the Gettys, the Warburgs, the Oppenheimers, those guys. Right? It says, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. You know, the ones who created the Federal Reserve, okay, the ones who invented fractional reserve banking, the ones who charged usury, you know, which the scriptures clearly teach against, you know, charging your brother usury, man. You know, for example, if I lent my brother, you know, $100, I'm not gonna look at him and say, okay, if you don't pay me back by, you know, the 20th, all right, putting interest on that. No, that's wicked, man. But see, Esau is the wicked. The so-called white man is the wicked the Bible speaks of. All right, the wicked. Yeah, you got the wicked 2/3, and we get on the wicked 2/3 of our people for being, you know, unfaithful. Okay, for being scoffers and mockers and demons. All right, but the ultimate wicked is Esau, the so-called white man. All right, it says, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. And this place is not tender and delicate no more. All right, America is a slimy stank hoe. All right, that's ripe for destruction, and she's gonna be run through, man. Okay, with all them intercontinental ballistic missiles, which the Bible refers to as, well, the Bible refers to them as arrows, swords. You know, the Messiah talked about, you know, figs falling off a fig tree. Those are the missiles, man. They come. They're gonna be shot from one end of heaven to the other. This place is gonna be totally annihilated, man. Take the millstones, verse 2, and grind milk. Uncover the locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yeah, thy shame shall be seen. The whole earth is seeing this place is shame. It's not shameful spewing all over this whore's glory. Absolutely, man. That's Bible prophecy. The world is seeing America for who she truly is. Again, a stank whore. The stank ass whore that rides that beast all throughout the earth. NATO, the beast, the whore riding on a beast, America, the 10 horns on the beast, the EU powers. Okay, but America is at the forefront, and every day she's being undressed and ridiculed and spurned and mocked. You know. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yeah, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man, because Yahweh is not coming like he did 2,000 years ago. 2,000 years ago, he came as a man, all right, through a sexual union between Joseph and Mary. Another lesson for another time. There's no such thing as a virgin birth. All right, this time around, okay, he's coming back as King of Kings and Lord of Lords. All right. As for our Redeemer, because he's only the Redeemer of the children of Israel, Yasharallah, beginning with the election, because on this go-around, only the 144,000, all right, the righteous men of the Lord, who are the men of great millstone, and those affiliate camps, and the men who are carrying the right doctrine, all right, it's the men of great millstone, her affiliates, and those believers, man. All right, he's only coming back for his people. As for our Redeemer, the Lord Yahweh of hosts is his name, and the Holy One of Israel. America's cooked, man. With that, I'm going to say shalom. Let's on to the next one.